All right, Patriots, first story, and this one is painful to watch. Thursday, yesterday, Kamala Harris announced she's back. She rebranded her failed presidential campaign's social media account, Kamala HQ, into something called Headquarters. The new handle? Headquarters or at headquarters _67. Why 67? Well, because it references an old meme that's been going on for about a year. Because Kamala thinks this is how you connect with young people. And Patriots, here's what makes this absolutely perfect. Even CNN couldn't help but mock her. CNN host Dana Bash, not a conservative, not a Trump supporter, a mainstream legacy media anchor, said this on air Thursday. By the way, the handle they are using, you can see there, we are zooming in on it, 6'7", as the kids used to say. Well, used to say a lot of things, and I think they all used to say that's probably cringe. Cringe. CNN called Kamala cringe on national television. When your own propaganda network is openly laughing at you, Patriots, you've got problems. Let me back up and explain what Kamala is actually doing here, because this isn't just a social media rebrand. This is Democrats' strategy for 2026. Kamala announced she's partnering with an organization called People for the American Way. They are turning headquarters into what they call a youth mobilization organization ahead of the 2026 midterms. The goal? To mobilize pro-fairness, pro-democracy young people against far-right extremism. Translation? Get young voters to show up and vote Democrat because they are terrified Republicans are going to win. Kamala will be the quote-unquote chair emerita of this organization. Many of the staff from Kamala HQ, the team that ran her failed presidential campaign, are reuniting for this project. Think about that, Patriots. The people who lost to Trump in 2024 are now going to mobilize young voters for 2026. How'd that work out last time? Now, here's where it gets even more cringe. The teaser video Kamala posted Wednesday showed a login screen with password hints. One password hint was, way too online. Another said, Project 2025 was real. Patriots, do you see what they are doing? They are still running on Project 2025, a year and a half after the election, a year after Trump's been president. Project 2025 didn't work in 2024. Kamala lost badly. She lost the popular vote. She lost swing states. She lost ground with black voters, Hispanic voters, young voters. And now her big comeback strategy? More Project 2025 fear-mongering. When you lose an election, you are supposed to learn from it. You are supposed to figure out what went wrong and change your approach. But Democrats don't do that. They just recycle the same failed playbook and hope this time it works. Now, let me tell you why this is great news for Republicans. Kamala Harris is electoral poison. She was the most unpopular vice president in modern history. She ran one of the worst presidential campaigns we have ever seen. She couldn't connect with voters. She couldn't answer basic questions. She couldn't even win a primary before dropping out in 2019. And now, she's back to help Democrats in 2026. Republicans should be celebrating. The National Republican Congressional Committee literally tweeted that Kamala's return is like Christmas came early. Because when Kamala shows up, Democrats lose. She drags down the ticket. She reminds voters why they voted for Trump. Even moderate Democrats are asking, why is she back? One tweet said, I am a moderate Democrat voter in a swing state. Everyone in my community is asking for Kamala Harris to run again. That's sarcasm, Patriots. Even Democrats don't want her. Another tweet, Republicans, you lost. Go home. Democrats, we probably should move on. Kamala staff, we're back. This is the Democrat Party in 2026. They have learned nothing from 2024. They are bringing back the same failed messengers with the same failed message. And Patriots, here's what makes this even funnier. Kamala's big youth mobilization strategy is a social media account. Not policy changes, not listening to the young voters, not addressing why young people are struggling with inflation, housing costs, and student debt. Just a X account with memes and password hints. You think Gen Z is going to show up to vote because Kamala posted "way too online" as a password hint? The woman who caused the worst inflation in 40 years, the woman who was border czar during the biggest border crisis in American history, the woman who couldn't answer a single question coherently. That's who's going to inspire young voters? Let me ask you something, Patriots. If you were advising Democrats on how to win in 2026, would you tell them to bring back Kamala Harris? Would you tell them to recycle Project 2025 talking points? Would you tell them to use a meme reference from years ago or a year ago and hope young people think it's still cool? Of course not, because it's insane. But that's exactly what they are doing. And when even CNN is calling it cringe, you know it's bad. Dana Bash said, "As the kids used to say, past tense, because the meme is now outdated. Kamala is trying to be relatable by referring to old internet culture. It's like your aunt showing up to Thanksgiving using slang from 5 years ago thinking she's hip. It's painful and it's going to fail." Here's the bottom line, Patriots. Democrats are panicking about 2026. They see the polling. They see Trump's approval ratings climbing. They see Republicans energized and Democrats divided. So, what's their solution? Well, bring back Kamala, the woman who lost, the woman voters rejected, the woman even CNN mocks. This isn't a strategy, it's desperation. And for Republicans, it's a Christmas gift. Every time Kamala shows up between now and November, she reminds voters why they voted for Trump. She reminds them of the chaos, the incompetence, the failure. So let her mobilize. Let her rebrand. Let her post cringe memes and outdated references. Because the more Kamala talks, the more Republicans win. Thanks for watching this highlight. This was just one part of today's Quick Strike briefing. To watch the full, uncensored episode with all of today's stories, click the video on your screen right now. If you don't happen to see a video, click on my channel or head on over to OConnorsQuickstrike.com.